If you're looking at this and you're thinking, gee, she looks really bad, you're right, and it's because I feel even worse. So, full disclosure, I had a whole video planned that was going to go before this one. I had the stuff planned out as far as the intro, I designed everything, I had finished the book, written a review, and then I got my wisdom teeth taken out yesterday, and I don't feel like it. So instead, I'm going to throw myself a curveball, not a curveball, a softball. That's how out of it I am. I'm sleep deprived. Anyway, enjoy the content. I got a cheat sheet for the mid-year freakout tag. All the information is in the description. The original creators, all the questions that I'm using. In the past, I have let this get really complicated and done like 2 or 3 books per question. I'm trying not to do that. I also don't have a lot of physical copies of the books. This is all I have as far as physical copies that answer these questions. Mainly because even though I own a lot of them, I own them via like audio or ebook, or the books haven't come out yet, so I just don't have my copies of them. And as a little bonus, because I have it, I'm going to unbox my OwlCrate. So you get to see that at the end of the video. If you don't want to see it, you can always end it early. But let's go through this mid-year freakout. The very first prompt is, what is the best book you have read this year? And that was really hard because I have read a lot of good books. And I would have chosen the book I just finished, but I didn't want it to feel like I was choosing it just because it was the freshest in my mind. So instead, I'm choosing The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which was like the first book I finished this year. I just really like this. From a literary standpoint, I really appreciated what it was trying to do. I really felt for our main character and the idea of being remembered. Being forgotten by people you love is one of my greatest fears. So while she has this great life of being able to live multiple hundreds of years and see all new technology and interesting people and places, she can't form any kind of bonds with these people. And without the connection to humanity, like, what is the human experience? So I really appreciated that one. I think that one was really good. That's my best so far. The best sequel I do not have a physical copy of. I didn't read a lot of sequels, but I think by default this one has to be the best. Off the top of my head, I know I read For the Throne, the most recent Finley Donovan, and Nine Liars. And Nine Liars is going to be my favorite sequel, best sequel so far. Finley Donovan was not bad. I don't want you to think that means that it was a bad sequel. But I really liked Nine Liars better, and I liked that it ended on the crazy cliffhanger. I just remembered I also read Painted Devils. That was a good one. It was a slow, but it was a good one. But we're still gonna go with Nine Liars for this one. It was a good sequel. A new release I haven't gotten to yet. This is embarrassing. I haven't read Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. As much as I am a Stephen Graham Jones girly, and as much as I hyped up My Heart as a Chainsaw, you'd think I would have picked this up by now, but you would be incorrect. So I need to get to this. I don't know why I haven't yet. Don't have cats. Sorry, I had to interrupt. My cats are insane. But either way, I need to get to that. I just haven't picked it up, and I feel bad about it, and I should feel bad about it. My most anticipated for the rest of the year is A Haunting on the Hill, which is like an authorized sequel to The Haunting of Hill House. So I'm pretty excited about that. It comes out like on my wedding anniversary, which is cool. I have it pre-ordered, so I'm excited to get that like audiobook dropped into my phone so I can read it. But that's the one I'm probably like the most excited about that I haven't already gotten. My biggest disappointment this year, I had a few. But I really did not like The Whispering Dark. And in theory, it was exactly what I wanted. It was like kind of paranormal, gothic, dark academia vibes, and the main character was so annoying and so incompetent that it made it hard to get through. So, I mean, I don't even have it in here anymore. I have an OwlCrate edition, and I got rid of it because I'm not going to read it again. But it was very disappointing that it felt like it was perfect for me and then it wasn't. The biggest surprise was probably 2 kind of related books. I read All Hallows by Christopher Golden and In Nightfall. And oh, I'm so sorry, dear, I don't remember your name, but I wrote a glowing review on Goodreads. Go read it. I had an arc of that one, and I listened to an audiobook of All Hallows. and they were both phenomenal. All Hallows takes place in the 80s on Halloween night in a small town, and In Nightfall is kind of like the Lost Boys, but like from a girl's perspective. I think it could have been gayer. That was my biggest note, but other than that, I thought it was a really great atmospheric read. If you're looking for something to pick up for Summerween, both of those books will be great. So I'm going to combine numbers 7 and 9, and I'm going to skip 8. And the reason is 8 is New Crush. I don't have crushes on book characters. I just don't. So there's no point in putting that. But 7 is Fave New Author, and 9 is Fave New Character. So Fave New Author I'm going to put as Aiden Polydorus, and the Fave New Character is Vera from Wrath Becomes Her. I read an arc of this. It was so good. It's like Frankenstein, but with Jewish mythology, and put it in World War II, and you're killing Nazis. I mean, like, no notes. It was already a great concept, but then the writing is so good. And again, anything that tackles sort of identity and how people interact with each other, I'm gonna like it. So I'm very excited for my copy to come in. I pre-ordered it before I even had a chance to get the arc, because I just knew it was going to be good. But this is the first thing I've read by Polydorus, so I'm going to look up the rest of their stuff, and hopefully the rest of it hits. Hopefully. 10 is a book that made you cry. I reread a book for the first time since, I believe, 2013 or 14, 2012. I read it a long time ago, but I reread it this year for a classroom book reading thing we were doing, and I found that The Book Thief can still make me cry. I knew everything was coming. I knew exactly when it was going to happen and how, and I still was just sitting in the dark, playing Animal Crossing, listening to it on audio, and crying. But I was very relieved to hear that the other kids who read it also got very emotional. I was like, good, at least we all kind of got through this sadness together. Oh, it hurts. There's some teeth suck. 11 is a book that made you happy. I think by default it has to be The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. It was just delightful. It was so funny and just filled with good humor, and like the flirtation was hilarious. I need to pick up the rest of this series, honestly, because this was so compelling to me. It felt like Jane Austen, but with like the snark turned up like all the way, and the plot increased speed by like 100%. So I mean, I loved it. The most beautiful book I've gotten so far. This one was also hard to narrow down, but I just bought this book last week. I've been wanting it for years. Please ignore the fact that it has a sticker I haven't removed yet. If anything, that kind of works with it. My Best Friend's Exorcism. I really like the book. This is one of the best Grady Hendrix books I've read. I've been let down by some of his other stuff, but this one stays pretty solid for me. But this book, like, it looks like a VHS. It's got like the sticker up here, and like all the stuff on Steph, I love this. I love this. This is such a good vibe. And then when you've actually like read the book and you understand like some of the stuff that's going on in the imagery, I mean, they don't make posters like they used to. I know there's like this thing about floating head posters nowadays, but this is not a floating head to me. This is like, the concept of this is so great. I love a good collage. Anyway, that one is like the most beautiful book that I've gotten so far. The last prompt is, what books do I need to read by the end of the year? And the answer is a lot. So as of right now, I'm filming this on the summer solstice. I'm filming this on 6/21. I've read 57 books out of my goal of 100 books, which feels really good. I think I'm in a good place for everything, but I am nervous that at the end of the year I usually slow down because it's the beginning of a school year again. So I'm hoping that I can get enough done during the summer that I don't feel like I'm falling behind. But to narrow it down to one book that I want to read by the end of the year, I'm going to have to go with A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. I read What Moves the Dead last year and loved it, and loved the writing. I thought Kingfisher's writing was really good. I have heard mixed things about this, so I'm nervous, but I think I'm going to end up liking it. And it's pretty short, so I think I may throw that in my Summerween stuff just to kind of knock it out. But there's other books I have to read, obviously. Came for the unboxing. The unboxing is going to start now. Alright, I have cut open the box because I don't want anyone to see a kniff on the screen. Now that I can get demonetized, I don't get money for this. There's our spoiler card. Our theme was If the Fates Allow. I have no idea what to expect. I have completely forgotten who was doing anything. Oh, this is going to be, I think, Scorpio races. This says, the sea does not like to be restrained. It's a little velvet pouch. It's got something in it. Let's find out what. Oh gosh, is it a necklace? Maybe it's not Scorpio races. That looks like a knife. The sea does not like to be restrained. It's Percy Jackson. That's embarrassing. I've never read Percy Jackson. This is an enamel pendant referencing our favorite demigod duo, Percy and Annabeth. So it's Percy's sword, Riptide, and Athena's owl on the other. So, again, I'm going to do what I can. There's the sword, and there's the owl. Love that. Very cute. That is a series I have not read. And it's really sad because I should have. Apparently it's amazing, but it's just, I think I aged out right before it hit like it did. And I didn't pick up middle grade series anymore. So that's embarrassing for me. Alright. Okay, The Song of Achilles Hand Mirror. Oh, fantastic. Another one I have not read, but it's definitely in this library. Definitely is in this library. Okay. I don't think they've ever done like something like this before. Ooh, it's going to be fancy. Okay. It's obviously a mirror. Ooh, it says, I would know him in death at the end of the world. Oh, the quotes in this book are amazing. And then this is the back of it. It has like an old school vibe to it. Like you've ever seen the really, like 1800s, 1900s mirrors that women used and kept on their vanities. That's what this reminds me of. That's really pretty. That's very pretty. Okay. Keep your wood tables safe from wayward burns of this ceramic trivet. Oh, cool! I love a good trivet. That sounds so old. Who gets excited about a trivet? But, like, I do. That's the joy of myths. Read the stories, then make them your own. This one is just based on, like, Norse mythology in general, it says. That's pretty cool. Like I said, I love a good trivet. I cook for Thanksgiving, so I can always use something like a hot plate. Oh, okay, we got the pins. Remember, this year they are doing the pins that are books that open up. And so this one is, I think the Raven Boys is what this one is. Yeah, the Raven Cycle. And it opens. Can you see anything? Just a bunch of notes and pictures, and that's cool. I like that. Another series I have not read. Now, I did continue to get this box because I knew there was going to be an item from the Scorpio races, which I have read and do love, and it's apparently this. I got a picnic blanket. Jesus. I love that. It's a folding picnic blanket. It's got, looks like all the horses on it. It's like bones and stuff because the horses eat people. And it's got instructions on how to fold it to make sure it folds up again. I'm probably not going to take this fully out, but I mean, the design is very pretty. Like you can see, the design is pretty. I'm not going to take this out because I don't want to have to refold it, but that's awesome. And it's a perfect time of year for a picnic blanket. That's so cool. Okay. Ooh, they did not fully wrap the book. That's weird. Okay. Okay. I knew this book was going to have a lot going on. It's got a transparent cover. This is separate. It's Threads That Bind, which I have not heard about. But it also has, so again, the whole cover is transparent and comes off. It has holographic detailing on it. Feel your fear and keep going anyway. That's a really good quote. I hope this book ends up being good because this is gorgeous. And I don't have a lot of like purple books in my collection. It also has holographic end pages. Same ones on the back. That's so cool. I do love that. I do really like that holographic. You don't see that a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about the transparent cover. Mainly because it feels like it doesn't line up the way they wanted it to. Like it feels slightly messy on the front. But hey, it's something different. Sorry not to disappear on camera. just as a reminder of what the original book looked like, it looked like this. So they went with completely different vibes for that. And next month's theme is Break the Curse, and we're going to get some kind of item by this person. So very exciting. I like that. I guess I'll have to read that at some point along with the other OwlCrate books. I just keep not reading because I am an incompetent human. Hope you like this. I know it wasn't like formal kind of thing and it feels rushed, but it is what it is. I'm going to go eat some soup and try not to feel pain. So